Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting, titillating, orgasmic edition of Radical Rock and Record Reviews. And I'm your host, Wild Rat bassist Mick Watkins, otherwise known as Dick Watkins, baby. And here I am, where you see me holding the sign right here, holding the poster. Today, finally I got my voice back from screaming and doing all that kind of shit for 2 days straight. I can give a proper review of, the Badass Festival. It's always here in Louisville, Kentucky every year. The 2022 Louder Than Life Festival. As you can see, by this poster, it was 4 days. 4 days of rock and metal and all kinds of crazy shit. It was a good time. I only went 2 days, and by looking at this poster, you can probably guess what days that old Dick Watkins went to. I went Saturday for Kiss, of course. Rob Zombie, Alice Cooper, and Airbourne. They were the bands that I was wanting to see on Saturday. And then Sunday right here, I basically just went for Alice in Chains. I mean, there's a couple other bands on there that I was interested in seeing, but really I just wanted to see Alice in Chains. Never seen Alice in Chains before. So yeah, Thursday night the festival kicked off. I didn't go to Thursday or Friday, but some of the bands that I would have liked to have seen on Thursday would have been 9 Inch Nails, Tenacious D featuring Jack Black and Kyle Gass. Jack Black, the dude that everybody fucking compares me to. And I would have liked to have seen Ministry. I like some Ministry, I like some Tenacious D, and I like some 9 Inch Nails. Friday, the bands that I would have been interested in seeing. Gwar. Not really the biggest fan of Gwar musically, but I don't think they suck. I think their stage show is pretty cool, and some of their songs kind of neat. And Slipknot. I'm not really much of a Slipknot fan at all, but you know what? They're interesting. They've got some tunes that I dig, and they've got a killer live show that I also dig. I've seen Slipknot. I think I've seen Slipknot back in the day at Ozfest 2005 or something. Maybe a couple other times, some of the previous Louder Than Lives. They deliver. They fucking deliver. But no, I was only really truly interested in Saturday and Sunday. But check that out. Rob Zombie, Kiss, Alice Cooper, and Airborne. And then Sunday with Alice in Chains. So let's get right to it, guys. I got my review right here. I got the set list written down. So, Saturday comes around. Now, you go to these fucking festivals just to get in the tickets alone. I think each day I paid maybe like $125. So, you pay an entrance to get into a festival, $125. When I pay $125 to go to a festival, the last thing I want to do is spend shitloads of money on $12 beers all day, So, what do? Kicking off Saturday in grand fashion before going to the festival, me and my lovely lady Samantha, we stop at a Meyer gas station, and I pick me up a 12-pack of Coors Lights. Because you know what? I don't want to spend all day drinking $12 beers. That's insane. And a surefire way to break my wallet right in half, and I'll go broke. So I stopped, got me got a 12-pack of Coors Lights, and on we were. We get to the festival grounds. We get to the Louder Than Life location. Crack me open. What did I do? I think I cracked me open about 3 beers, 3 or 4 Coors Lights. Sat there in the car, just drank them real fast, chugged them. Went into Louder Than Life on Saturday with a pretty fucking good buzz. Good buzz. And honestly, while I was at the festival, didn't really drink that much more. So right off the bat, we meet up with my buddy John Bon Joey Dildoey, Joseph Barnes, and his lovely girlfriend, Desi Osborne, Desiree, and his kids, Logan and Lucas. They've got all these L names. It's hard to keep up with. Lucas and Layla. Meet up with them. It's their first concert. It's their their really big first festival. Get to see them, and right off the bat, dude, we're there. And as soon as we're walking in the gates, Airborne hits the stage. Airborne, a band that I have really dug and I've really enjoyed ever since our first album, Running Wild, came out back in 2007, 2008. So yeah, I've been a fan of Airborne pretty much since the beginning. I've been wanting to see them, man. Been wanting to see them a lot. And I remember actually back in 2008, they came here to Louisville and played on their first really big U.S. tour. And I missed them because I didn't know they fucking played here until like the day or two afterwards. I was bummed. So ever since then, they haven't really came here or really haven't came close a whole lot. So I was ready to rock it with Airborne. I had my Coors Lights in me, and Airborne, dude, they fucking killed it. Airborne, if you've never listened to Airborne, they're a lot like AC/DC. They're like the new age AC/DC, but AC/DC on steroids. If I had to describe them perfectly, it'd be you take AC/DC, you pump them up, you make them heavier, give them a little bit more aggression, you put a little bit more beer into them, and then you mix it with Motorhead. So you got AC/DC and Motorhead mix, gives you Airborne. Airborne's an excellent band. So anyway, they rocked out. They might have played for not really long. I was kind of disappointed. Their set length, but not the set. Their set fucking killed it. Fucking slayed. They went through about 5 songs. Ready to Rock, which is off their latest album for 2018 called Bone Shaker. Then they went into pretty much one of their biggest hits. The first song that I ever heard from them, called Too Much, Too Young, Too Fast. Too much, too young, too fast. I'm gonna live it up while it lasts. The singer doesn't really sound like Brian Johnson, but that's just my imitation of the singer of Airborne. I think his name's Joel O'Keefe. They're from Australia. They're fucking rocking dudes. So yeah, they went in to kick off with Ready to Rock. Ready to rock! Ready to rock! And I was fucking ready to rock. It was such a good time. Yeah, Too Much, Too Young, Too Fast. Then they went Breaking Out of Hell. Breaking Out of Hell. Then they went into Breaking Out of Hell, which is the title track of what I believe to be their best album. Their 4th album called Breaking Out of Hell, which was released back in 2016. So yeah, they fucking killed that, dude. Then they went into another great track called Live It Up. That was from their 2013 album, Black Dog Barking. Very cool stuff. I definitely suggest checking out some Airborne, man. And then they closed it out with the title track from their debut album from 2007 called Running Wild. So Airborne fucking killed it. And at the end of the set, their singer, I think his name's Joel O'Keefe. Kind of a hard name to say. I know the singer, guitarist, and the drummer are brothers. So let's say that the singer's name is Joel O'Keefe. All the dudes at Airborne, they fucking rocked it and they killed it. And they seemed very impressed with the rock and roll community here in Louisville, Kentucky. So he said that they will be back sooner than later. So that's cool. Can't wait to check out some more fucking Airborne, dude. I would travel to go see them. I would go to Nashville. I'd go to Cincinnati. They're a badass band. So check them out. So after that, there was a long stretch in between, bands that I wanted to see. So we walked around the festival and did a bunch of cool shit. I caved in. I bought some $12 beers. Unfortunately, they didn't have Coors Light, so I just bought and usually at festivals, they've got Budweiser, Bud Light, and Michelob Ultra. Budweiser, there's a reason people call it butt wiper. And Bud Light tastes like water with piss in it. I love my Coors Light, man. It's my fucking favorite. So since they didn't have either of those, I went with probably the next best thing, which is Michelob Ultra. So it's what the people call me. They call me Mick Ultra. That's what the ladies used to call me, Mick Ultra. So anyway, yeah, I just walked around, dude. We walked around. They had the Dimebag Darrell, the Dimebag Hardwire tent set up, and they had a bunch of cool Dimebag Darrell merchandise. A couple days previous at the festival, Dimebag's old hag, Rita Haney, she was there. I didn't get to see her, but they had lots of cool Dimebag Darrell merchandise, including in like this plexiglass case. One of his like stage outfits and guitars that he played like in December of 2004. And if you know, Dimebag Darrell died in December of 2004. So it's probably very close to that. So yeah, and then they had, this was badass, behind the merch table, they had Dimebag Darrell's original Dean from Hell. That's some amazing shit, and took a picture of it that I'll throw up right now. Pretty cool stuff. It was really awesome to see, man. It was beat to shit. Legendary guitar, legendary axe. So yeah, we just walked around partying, man, hanging out with friends, chilling, listening to the god-awful, shitty music that was in the background that I didn't really care for. It was just partying, hanging out with friends. Then we met up with a Wild Ride drummer and another best bud of mine, Kid Vicious. Kid Vicious and his lovely wife, Stephanie Aquero Kid. Stephanie Aquero Kid, old big head, stink bug and big head. So met up with them, you know, just kept partying and hanging out, drinking $12 beers. Me and Joey did our annual Louder Than Life shot of Metallica's Blackened Bourbon, which, you know, it's not bourbon, it's whiskey, blackened whiskey. And, you know, usually I think it kind of sucks and it tastes like the sweat that you kind of wring out of Lars Ulrich's socks, or the sweat that you wring out of his jock strap, or those black spandex pants he used to wear. But nonetheless, it was good, man. We had a good time. So finally, cutting to the chase. Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper comes up. And this was a kind of a momentous occasion, was Louder Than Life 2022. Momentous occasion. It was my 10th Alice Cooper concert, okay? It was my 10th Kiss concert. The two of my all-time favorite artists, Alice Cooper and Kiss, are now tied for the most bands and artists that I've seen live in concert with 10 times. Very cool that it could happen on the same night. So yeah, so Alice Cooper. This is such a kind of an awesome tour to see Alice Cooper on, because as everybody knows, Nita Strauss left Alice Cooper's band to go play with Demi Lovato. I mean, she wants to make fucking money. She wants to get her name out there. I don't blame her. Totally miss her in Alice Cooper's band. But Kane Roberts is back. Kane Roberts is back in Alice Cooper's band. If you don't know who Kane Roberts is, he was, in a big way, I think, responsible of Alice Cooper's mid to late 80s, early 90s kind of renaissance back to awesomeness, you know. Kane Roberts played on Constrictor, Raise Your Fist and Yell, which is fucking one of my favorite Alice Cooper albums. And he helped write a good chunk of songs on Trash, which 1989 brought in the big hit classic Poison. So yeah, Kane Roberts is back in Alice Cooper's band, along with Alice Cooper, Kane Roberts on lead guitar, shredding lead guitar, Ryan Roxy on guitar, Tommy Henriksen on lead rhythm guitar, Chuck Garrick on bass, and the mighty beast of a drummer, Glenn Sobel. So Alice Cooper comes out, and they fucking kill it, dude. They rock through an insane set of Kick the Show Off of Feed My Frankenstein. Excellent. Then when they went into No More Mr. Nice Guy, awesome. Then they go into Bed of Nails, featuring Kane Roberts just shredding the licks. Then they go into Hey Stupid. Hey, 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 hey. Well, hey, stupid, they win, you lose. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, stupid. Hey Stupid was awesome. Then they go into Go to Hell. You can go to hell. Then, because Kane Roberts back in the band, they had to dig a little deeper and get into some Raise Your Fist and Yell. And they performed a song that I don't think Alice Cooper's done in a long time. Freedom. Freedom! Raise your fist and yell. Freedom to rock. Freedom to talk. Freedom ring. It's awesome, dude. That's my favorite song of the whole set. Freedom fucking slayed. It was badass. Then they went into Under My Wheels. I'm 18, of course. Great song. You gotta have 18 in the set list. Then they went into Poison. The fucking crowd erupted. It was insane. Then they did $1 Billion Babies. I got you in a dime store. Who do me that baby? See, in $1 Billion Babies, Alice Cooper kind of reminds me of Vince Neil, because like how Vince Neil sings Dr. Feelgood, Alice Cooper kind of sings $1 Billion Babies the same way, because other than recording it in the studio originally, I don't think either of those fucking guys know what the actual words are to either $1 Billion Babies or Dr. Feelgood. But nonetheless, as always, dude, Alice Cooper fucking murdered it, killed it. It was amazing. Then they go, now this part was, I think, the coolest part of the set. There's the sun starting to go down, starting to get dark outside. Alice Cooper gets wrapped up in his straitjacket and shit. It was epic. And then they go into Steven. They did Steven, and it was so haunting. And I remember looking around me, you know, and it's different because it's a different atmosphere because, you know, when you go to see Alice Cooper, a solo Alice Cooper concert, Alice Cooper on his own, it's usually in a sea of Alice Cooper fans, so they know exactly what to expect. But here, this is a festival crowd, and majority of these people have never seen Alice Cooper. Some people, oddly enough, probably don't even know who the fuck Alice Cooper is. So as Alice Cooper's wrapped up in a straitjacket and he's up there singing Steven, this really disturbing, creepy fucking song, I look around to, you know, witness people's reactions, and a lot of people seem kind of disturbed and freaked out. Then they got even more disturbed and freaked out when next Alice Cooper did Dead Babies. And Alice Cooper breaks out of his straitjacket at the end of Steven, and he picks up this baby doll, and he takes like a hatchet and axe, and he starts chopping at it and killing this fucking baby. And you know, Alice Cooper's been doing this shit for 50 years. And in the year 2022, in this crazy fucked up world we live in nowadays, it takes a lot to kind of offend, well, let me rephrase that. It doesn't take a lot to offend people, but you would think that it takes a lot to shock people. And this really didn't, dude. I look around as Alice Cooper's dead babies can't take care of themselves. Dead babies. As Alice Cooper's singing about dead babies, holding a dead baby up with an axe, a hatchet, I'm looking around and people look seriously terrified. They look fucking terrified. And I was like, this is awesome. The same shit that Alice Cooper was doing back in 1971, 72 that freaked people out is still, in a way, freaking people out now. It was awesome, dude. I love that. I was like, this is fucking cool. It's great. So Dead Babies sounded amazing. Then Alice Cooper, you know, they wrap him up, they put him in handcuffs, whatever. They take him to the guillotine, and then they cut his fucking head off. And then they did I Love the Dead. I love I Love the Dead. So that's Steven, Dead Babies, I Love the Dead. That was the best part of the Alice Cooper show for me. My favorite song, that was Freedom. It was the first time they've done that probably since 1987, 1988. And then they closed the show out with School's Out. That's when Alice Cooper introduces his band, introduces his wife Cheryl, and says, they're playing the role of Alice Cooper tonight. Me. And they fucking killed it. So all in all, man, my 10th Alice Cooper concert, Alice Cooper never lets you down. My opinion, my honest to God opinion, Alice Cooper, the best band out on the road nowadays. Nobody can touch them. Alice Cooper was amazing. Kane Roberts, man, I gotta be honest. Kane Roberts kinda let me down. It wasn't as good as what I thought it would be. I mean, Kane Roberts' playing was great. But when you're following up Nita Strauss, when you're taking Nita Strauss's place, everybody knows, and you can't deny it, that Nita Strauss, she's a bad fucking guitar player, dude. An amazing guitar player. Amazing charisma. Amazing confidence in her playing. Nita Strauss, in this day and age, dude, one of the best guitarists there is. When she left Alice Cooper's band, it leaves a lot. That's a hell of a slot to fill. Fill some slots. I think it's some good shit. But yeah, so Kane Roberts, man, I know he hasn't really been back with Alice Cooper's band that long. Maybe, you know, a handful of gigs, whatever. But yeah, I think Kane Roberts just needs a little more time to kind of find his footing and what his place and his footing is going to be in Alice Cooper's band in 2022. Kane Roberts was awesome. I just think he needs to pick it up a little bit and get a little bit more comfortable with his place in the band and jamming with Chuck Garrick and Tommy and Ryan Rocks, England, Sobel, and Alice. So yeah, but man, Nita Strauss. I really missed her beauty, that sexiness, those thick thighs, that big old booty, and that black spandex pants she wears. It's a hard slot to fill, I tell you, that old Nita Strauss. But yeah, Kane Roberts killed it. Just think he needs a little bit more time. A little bit more time to, you know, find his placing. So Alice Cooper ends Amazing show. Then goes into one of the other, but right after, then goes into one of the other bands I was wanting to see is Rob Zombie. And I believe this is probably my fourth, I'll almost say fifth time seeing Rob Zombie. And I've dug Rob Zombie for a long time, pretty much ever since Hellbilly Deluxe came out back in '98. Rob Zombie's always been an artist that I really dig. I dig all of his solo albums. I love me some White Zombie. But this is my fourth or fifth time seeing Rob Zombie live. Gotta be honest, Rob Zombie has never really impressed me live, you know. And in the case with like a lot of like, John Bon Jovi said it best. In the case of like a lot of like industrial kind of bands like Rob Zombie, Marilyn Manson, 9 Inch Nails, Ministry, they have so much studio trickery and sound effects and samples in their music that it's kind of hard to translate really, really good live, even though you got fucking amazing guitar player like John Five in your band. And this time you're sitting there watching Rob Zombie, which didn't get to directly watch Rob Zombie because they had two stages for Louder Than Life. On the left, there was Alice Cooper. And then on the right stage was Rob Zombie. So while Alice Cooper's going on, they're fixing up Rob Zombie's stage. While Rob Zombie's on stage, they're fixing the stage up for Kiss. So we had a good spot for Alice Cooper and Kiss. So there's no way in hell that I'm leaving my spot. So during Rob Zombie, yeah, we're kind of at the left side stage. Rob Zombie's on the right side. So you could see a good portion of his show, but you could also watch it on these giant screens. So you pretty much, got an obstructed view of Rob Zombie's show and got to watch a good chunk of it on the screens. Rob Zombie was good, man. It was honestly probably the second best time I've seen Rob Zombie. The best time I've ever seen Rob Zombie was when John Five first joined him, and they played like one of the little side stages at Ozfest 2005. Very stripped down show. They didn't dress up and look crazy, and they didn't have any giant robots running around on stage. It was just a very simple stage show. That was the best time I've seen Rob Zombie. But yeah, this time Rob Zombie, they were good and they killed it, man. They opened up with the Triumph of King Freak, a Crypt of Preservation and Superstition. That's off of his latest album, the Lunar Injection Kool-Aid Eclipse Conspiracy. Awesome opening track, man. That was cool. Then they went into Super Beast. Hey, hey, I'm the one that you wanted. Hey, hey, I'm your super beast. Went to Super Beast. Awesome. Off of Hellbilly Deluxe. Then they went into Meet the Creep. Yeah, yeah. Kind of James Hetfield, Rob Zombie mix. That was cool. Then they went to Shake Your Ass, Smoke Your Grass. That was okay. Living Dead Girl, all-time classic. It's kind of one of those songs I really don't ever need to hear again, but, it's always cool live. Brings back a lot of memories from middle school and high school. Sandy Irvine. Then they went into More Human Than Human, classic White Zombie. Then they went into Sky by the Earth, Come Out, which is an awesome song. Dead City Radio and the New Gods of Supertown was good. Probably my favorite song of the whole Rob Zombie set, and one of my favorite Rob Zombie songs, period, Never Gonna Stop, the Red Groovy from 2001's The Sinister Urge. That kicks ass. And it used to be the theme song for Edge way back in the Attitude Era on WWF. Then they went into Everybody's fucking in a UFO. Yeah. That song was pretty cool. House of a Thousand Corpses was good. What otherwise known as what Stephanie Kidd would call it, 1,000 Corpses. I'm sure she enjoyed that. It was awesome. Then they did Thunder Kiss 65, which was awesome. Probably one of the all-time great riffs in metal and rock, And they closed it out with Dragula, another song that I probably never need to hear again, but it was cool and it fucking rocked. But towards the end of Rob Zombie's set, it just seemed to keep going on and on and on. And I was like, man, get off the stage. I'm ready for Kiss. Come on, Rob Zombie, you've had enough. Let's get to Kiss. So Kiss comes on. This is the fourth time I've seen Kiss on the End of the Road tour. The second time I've seen them here in Louisville. After the first time, them saying that they would never be back. Well, guess what? They came back. The End of the Road tour, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I bought it back then in 2000 when they did the farewell tour because I was a teenager and I was like, oh my God, you know, we're never gonna be able to see Kiss again. Bought it back then. Now, as an adult, as somebody that's seen Kiss 10 times now, that's almost been a Kiss fan for 30 fucking years, and I know how Gene and Paul think like the back of my hand. The End of the Road tour is not gonna be the last tour. The only way it's gonna be is, knock on wood, if either Gene and Paul get hurt or die or something, which God forbid they don't. But even then, they'd probably find somebody else. Who knows? Can't kill Kiss. Kiss are like fucking cockroaches. But anyway, yeah, fourth time seeing them on the End of the Road tour. And before we get into it, I want to discuss a couple things. A couple hang-ups that a lot of people have with the current incarnation of Kiss. The number one thing we got to talk about is Paul Stanley's voice. I'm not going to harp on it. I'm not going to do no Thinking Stanley kind of stuff. I'm not going to get into all that. But, hi, Tim. But, yeah, you know, Paul Stanley's voice. Man, if anybody denies that Paul Stanley is lip-syncing and not using tracks, you're a full-blown Kiss tard and you're in denial, because Paul Stanley is lip-syncing, okay? We know this. There's proof. Every night he sings, he sounds the fucking same, which sounds pretty decent. And then when he talks, he sounds like he's been gargling razor blades. I feel for the guy, man. He's got it rough. But nonetheless, do I agree with Paul Stanley lip-syncing? And I'm going to say no, I don't. Okay? I don't. I don't agree with it. But I have some sympathy for the guy. Paul Stanley has been killing it pretty much nonstop for almost 50 fucking years, dude. How you doing, people? Let me hear ya. Whoa, yeah. We got some good-looking girls out there. You know, and all just, woo, over singing, screaming, doing crazy shit for 50 years. You gotta cut him some slack, dude. At this point in the game, Paul Stanley has nothing to prove to anybody. He's a legend. His legacy is intact. Paul Stanley lip-syncing on the End of the Road tour will do nothing to change Kiss's legacy. In 50 fucking years, nobody will even mention the End of the Road tour. What they'll mention is Destroyer, Kiss Alive, Love Gun, Creatures of the Night, Dynasty, Lick It Up, Animalize, Heaven's on Fire, whatever, Revenge. That's what people will bring up. Alive 2, not the fact that Paul Stanley lip-synced on the End of the Road tour. It's a cliff note. It's a cliff note on the Kiss touring legacy. I don't like it. I don't think it's right, but I will give the dude a pass, obviously, because I've seen him 4 times on this tour. I will give him a pass on this tour because, you know what, man? I'm not ready to give up on Kiss. I want to enjoy Kiss live for as long as I can. Paul Stanley can still bring it as a front man, even though I really don't think he's that great of a front man. But Paul Stanley can still bring it. He can still play his guitar. He can still be the front man. Gene Simmons has not missed a mark. Yes, he's slowed down a little bit. He's not as crazy and shit as he used to be, jumping around like on the Creatures of the Night tour and shit and all that. But he's 73 fucking years old. I don't expect him to. But vocally, Gene nails it. Gene's still the demon. And as a bass player, Gene Simmons is playing as good as he ever has. I think Gene Simmons is a bass player live. Right now, he's at his peak. Gene's still a major badass. So for that reason alone, because Gene Simmons is still fucking killing it night in and night out, I will go see Kiss and I will support him. Now, when you got Paul Stanley lip-syncing and Gene Simmons is in a wheelchair, it's time to fucking call it. It's time to end that shit. But until then, while they're still healthy and still doing it, it is what it is, man. If you want to go, enjoy it. If you don't, stay home. And let the people that want to go enjoy it. And I'll be fucking going. Gene killed it. Tommy and Eric shouldn't be wearing the makeup. Oh my God, blah, 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 blah. I agree. Tommy Thayer and Eric Singer should not be wearing Ace and Peter's makeup. But guess what? It's been going on for 20 fucking years. It's time to get over it, man. Yes, I would love for Tommy and Eric to have their own identities. Eric Singer should be the Hawk. Tommy Thayer should be the golf boy or the spaghetti keeper or whatever the fuck you want to call him. But nonetheless, dude, Tommy Thayer and Eric Singer are excellent musicians. They've helped keep Kiss alive for the last 2 decades. And I will go ahead and say it. I know this is gonna be a big deal and might get some flack for this. Take your tomatoes and throw them at your TV or your cell phone. Tommy Thayer smokes Ace Frehley in 2022. I've seen them both live multiple times recently. I've watched videos on YouTube. Tommy Thayer smokes Ace, dude. He does. And we all know Eric Singer smokes Peter Criss. It just is what it is, guys. This isn't 1976 anymore. Either enjoy Kiss or don't. Go or not go. It's your choice. But anyway, let's get down to the show. You want the best, you got the best. The hottest band in the world, Kiss. They come down on their platform, fire and explosions are going off everywhere. It was fucking awesome, dude. They went through Detroit Rock City. Killer. They're going to Shout It Out Loud. Killer. War Machine. Fucking awesome. Gene Simmons is a beast. Heaven's on Fire. Pre-recorded vocals. 50 years in, man. Who cares? Whatever Paul's got to do to help him out, let him fucking do it. Let him do it. He's not the only fucking singer doing it either. He's not. I've watched videos of Judas Priest on the past couple tours. Rob Halford uses a little assistance. And Rob Halford's the metal god. All praise the metal god. But you know what? These dudes are getting older. So let them, if they need some assistance, let them have some assistance. I want to continue to rock out to Priest and Kiss for as long as I can. And as long as they can. It is what it is. Fuck it. So yeah, I Love It Loud next. Sounded great. Cold Gin. Cold Gin was awesome. One of my favorite songs of the night. Probably was my favorite song of the night. Maybe. And they went to Lick It Up! Lick It Up! Oh, it's only right now. If I had a fur coat, it would be shaved beaver. Lick it up! Lick it up! Lick It Up was cool. Then they did Calling Dr. Love. And this was awesome because, what was it? After like the last chorus or so, they call me Dr. Love. They call me Dr. Love. They kind of did this thing where the song stops. And then Paul and Tommy traded off solos and licks and shit. That was pretty neat. And then the end jingles, you know why? You know why? 'Cause I am the doctor of love. So then they went into Psycho Circus. Psycho Circus was cool. Psycho Circus after the kind of the drum break, after the guitar solo, they kind of went into a drum and guitar solo, and Tommy was up there fucking kicking ass. It was fucking awesome. Tommy Thayer and Eric Singer are so good, dude. They don't deserve near the hate that they get just because they wear makeup. 20 years in, who gives a shit? Then they went to God of Thunder. It was awesome. Gene didn't fly. You know how he does on the End of the Road tour. He goes up on his platform and he's singing God of Thunder and rock and roll. And there's like lightning and shit on the screens, and then Gene's on each side of the screen with blood dripping out of his mouth. It was badass. Then they went to Love Gun. Paul Stanley flew out to his little podium. Then they did I Was Made for Loving You. And dude, that was the most popular song of the whole night. People freaked out. People were dancing and grooving. And dude, people love I Was Made for Loving You. I really do think that nowadays it's like the biggest Kiss song. And I was looking on Spotify and YouTube. It is their most popular song streaming-wise. So, badass tune. Yeah, I love it. Then they went into a ferocious rendition of Black Diamond. Eric Singer killed it. Then they did Do You Love Me? And then they went to Rock and Roll All Night. Explosions went off. Confetti. Fucking Kiss killed it. In my opinion, this is my 10th Kiss concert. Probably the third best Kiss concert I've seen, man. The best Kiss concert would be the Farewell Tour back in 2000. Original Kiss, of course. They were amazing. Then the second time was probably the End of the Road Tour in Lexington, Kentucky. And then Louder Than Life, 2022. My third best favorite Kiss concert. Kiss were there at a festival. It was a different vibe. Paul Stanley didn't talk a whole lot. They just went out there and fucking killed it, dude. And they were having fun. They did a little kind of off-script kind of stuff, and it was neat. Kiss. Nobody, I always tell people this, nobody can throw a rock and roll party like Kiss can. They're the funnest fucking band to see in concert. So then that wrapped up Saturday night. Saturday night was cool. And then getting into Sunday, there wasn't really a whole lot I wanted to see music-wise. Plus, I was hungover kind of bad. So Sunday was kind of a chill day. Me and my buds, we all just, my old lady, my friends, we all just sat around, casually drank a little whiskey, drank some Michelob Ultras, drank quite a few Coors Lights in the car beforehand. It was just kind of a chill day, man. It was cooler weather. It was nice. Fall's finally fucking here. And, just kind of waited for Alice in Chains. Alice in Chains killed it. Mike Inez, Jerry Cantrell, William Duvall, Sean Kinney. The best fucking rock drummer, Sean Kinney. They did a great set, man. They killed it. They did Again. Check My Brain, which is one of my favorite songs they did. They did Them Bones Into the Grave. Life feels so alone. I will think about them bones. Them bones way down the river. They did Down That River. Sitting on an angry chair. They did Angry Chair. Man in the Box. Louder Than Life erupted. People freaked the fuck out. They did Down in a Hole. The One You Know. Off their latest album, 2018's excellent Rainier Fog. Killer shit. Then they did No Excuses. That and Check My Brain were my favorite songs. Then they did Wood and Rooster, dude. And they did Rooster. It was so fucking epic and awesome. Rooster was the best song they did, for sure. They did Rooster, and I'm sitting there and I'm listening to these lyrics, and I know that the lyrics are about Lane Staley's dad. I think he was like in Vietnam or something. And I sat there listening to those lyrics as William Duvall singing them, and I looked at John Bon Jovi, and I was like, man, this song is fucking epic. This is so just cool and deep, man. This is awesome, Alice in Chains killed it. It was my first time seeing them. I've been wanting to see Alice in Chains for a long time, man. It was pretty epic. So that wraps up the review of Louder Than Life 2022. The only thing... Oh, whoa. And I got to add, Sunday I did see the Struts. Yeah, my girlfriend Samantha, she was wanting to watch the Struts, and they're pretty cool. They're good. The lead singer totally reminded me of like Mick Jagger and not Keith Richards, Mick Jagger and Freddie Mercury. They're kind of glammy. They're kind of like a modern day kind of British glam rock. They were pretty cool. The lead singer needs to lay off Botox, I think. He's probably like a young guy, maybe in like his late 20s, early 30s, and his face looks plastic as fuck. It looks like a false face. But he was a great frontman, dude. Energetic as fuck. The Struts were cool. And Red Hot Chili Peppers, man. Probably, honestly, the most popular band of the whole fucking festival. I'm not a fan of them at all. I dig a couple songs casually, very casually. But Red Hot Chili Peppers, man, for their fans, they seem to not disappoint. And we were there watching them. We were out in the crowd for Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I had to take a piss so bad. But I looked back, and I didn't want to go to the bathroom, so I whipped my Wee Willie Winky. Not wee, but I whipped my wang. I whipped my wang chang. Whatever the fuck. I whipped my wang chung out and peed in a Michelob Ultra bottle. And then Kid looks at me, Kid Vicious, Wild Ride drummer, and he goes, "Hey man, throw it." And I'm like, not gonna throw a fucking full aluminum bottle of piss into an audience and it fucking hit somebody in the head and kill them and crush their skull in. Can't do that. But it would have been funny to do that. Like D. Snyder, they're throwing shite at us. They're throwing shite. But this time, Louder Than Life, somebody threw a heavy-ass aluminum bottle of Michelob Ultra of piss. Yeah, so man, Louder Than Life. Here's the poster again. Louder Than Life 2022, man. It was a hell of a good time. I've been to every Louder Than Life. They've had them since 2014, and they've had it every year. But I think 2 years got canceled because of rain and COVID. A big rainstorm came in and flooded the festival grounds. It was a good time, man. It was definitely my favorite Louder Than Life. Seeing Kiss and Alice Cooper on stage together, legendary shit. I don't think that's ever happened, man. Two of my all-time favorite artists, both my 10th time seeing them in concert. Couldn't ask for better. Finally getting to see Airborne was epic. Finally getting to see Alice in Chains was cool. And Rob Zombie was good as well. It was a good time, man. So definitely I suggest if you're close in the area. Last year was Metallica twice and Judas Priest. Louder Than Life, it's got a lot of shit like Ghostman. Fuck some Ghostman. That was god awful. But Louder Than Life, you know, for an old school rocker, heavy metal dude like myself, Louder Than Life's always got a good chunk of cool bands. I would definitely suggest going, you know. It's a good time. Can't wait for next year. I'd like to see Ghost. I'd like to see Iron Maiden. I'd like to see Night Demon on Louder Than Life. I'd like to see AC/DC, man. Aerosmith. What's some of the other band? Dude, throw Blue Oyster Cult on fucking Louder Than Life. That'd be cool as shit. Love to see Haunt on Louder Than Life. Fuck. I'd love to see Wild Ride on Louder Than Life, which we've tried to get on the past couple of years, and we will not be denied much longer, you motherfuckers. We will not be denied much longer. But anyway, guys, that's the review I have of the 2022 Louder Than Life here in Louisville, Kentucky. And thank you guys for tuning in. If you like this video, hit the subscription button and check out my band Wild Ride, WYLDRYDE on Facebook, official Wild Ride on Instagram.com, www.wildride.bandcamp.com to pick up some Wild Ride CDs, some booty shorts, some patches, some hats, a t-shirt. And until next time, guys, keep rocking and keep doing your thing. I'll see you next time. See ya.